We are here at Emarsys Revolution in London, and I have the pleasure of being here today with Bijan Bedroud, who is our Chief Revenue Officer at Emarsys. Thank you so much for being here, Bijan.
My pleasure. It's great to be here.
So exciting to be here in London, which is where you are based. So thanks for being on the show. And what are your thoughts so far about Revolution?
I think it's been a fantastic event. This is my first event since I joined Emarsys 8 months ago. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect, but the team have done a fantastic job. We've got our prospects and customers. We've got over 1,000 people here. So, and the content's been phenomenal. The feedback's been great. I think the main message to our customers and to our prospects who are here and our partners is really what we're trying to do in the industry, which is, to a certain extent, is disrupt the industry in a different direction. The whole day of day one was all around personalization and potentially one-to-one personalization. Yeah. And then obviously we finished up with Raj talking about the vision of where we want to take the organization this year and next year.
And actually that's a perfect segue because you mentioned Raj's presentation. Can you tell us a little bit from your perspective about some of the big news that we shared about the Emarsys platform?
So I think it's I think it was mentioned in the keynotes that, you know, we've spent the last 2 years in R&D building out the product to actually revolutionize the role of the marketeer, and in fact revolutionize, I like to think, the marketing industry. I think what we're trying to do has not been done before. And that is what we're trying to share with our customers and prospects and with the industry. And that will be the differentiator that we'll bring to the market, because, you know, we may not be the biggest brand in the market today, but Emarsys are extremely innovative and creative in what we do. And I believe this new innovation around personalization and one-to-one personalization, it's all around the fact that we want to disrupt and we also want to revolutionize the role of the marketer to make it easier for them to do their jobs and focus on creativity and let the software do all the hard work, versus they have to do all the hard work and spend less time on the creativity.
And actually, you know, one of the things that was so exciting to me as a marketer when I got the inside scoop on what we're doing from a product perspective with Emarsys is that, you know, as a marketer, we're under so much pressure, and we've got so many pains to deliver to rising expectations from consumers and internal expectations to deliver more and more ROI. And, you know, so we go out and we purchase technology because we think that it's going to help, but really all you end up is an empty box, right? That is limited by your ability to fill it and to make it work. And I'm excited because it really seems like Emarsys is giving you, you know, something inside that box, knowledge and data and
Absolutely.
Insights, right? So tell me what you think, what you're excited about from what it will do for our clients and how it will change the role of the marketer.
So I think, you know, the empty software concept, I totally understand it. You know, I've personally been in this industry for 30 years, and I've been in the software industry for as long as I can remember, and I have been part of that empty software. We all have been part of that empty software. But I think it's our duty, and we're going to need to be accountable as an organization to continue to help our customers and our marketeers. And by taking the initiative of how do we do that and fill that software where they can actually make their lives easier, because the hardest job for a the marketer's job is really hard. As you said, consumer expectations goes up. Yep. And therefore product and experience is important, but to make their lives easier, to be able to connect and interact with the consumers is their number one goal, to meet the goals of their customers. Right. Sorry, to make the goals of their CEO and the CFO,
right.
and
their
corporate goals.
Yeah.
So absolutely taking the initiative to build use cases and case studies and tactics into the product is a key differentiator, which will make their lives much easier.
Another thing that's exciting to me is, you know, marketing 101. You know, first thing that we learned as marketers is, what do you start with? Your goals and your objectives, right? But somehow we've gotten backwards as an industry and as marketers, where we're not starting there. We're starting with technology in many cases, and we're starting with, okay, I want this technology, or I want to try this new thing that I feel like I should, or I can, or I want to. And then we back ourselves into a strategy and ultimately identify goals at the end. And so this gets us back to what I see as the foundation of how marketing should be, where we get to start with those goals and objectives and then work our way through from there. So what are your thoughts on this goals, objectives, strategy,
I absolutely agree.
tactics?
So I think we have gone to 101 marketing, and 101 marketing is about what, in any business, you have to have your goals and objectives and then work from there, right? You work backwards from there based on your goals and your strategy. So we have done exactly that. As I said from the beginning, we spent the last 24 months in R&D, spending 25% of our revenues in R&D, talking to customers, talking to the industry about how to understand what they do in their businesses, understand their goals, because we obviously are, the majority of our focus today is in retail commerce, right? And most of our research in that industry, and we want to make sure that we are aligned to their goals and strategies and build out our, our solution into that based on the research that we have done over the last 24 months.
Yeah.
So absolutely right.
It's exciting. It's very exciting. So tell me a little bit too, because another exciting announcement is that, as many people know, it costs far less to keep a customer than it does to acquire a new one. And we've got some exciting news around loyalty. So what can you tell us about loyalty at Emarsys?
Yeah, so we've been sharing our loyalty initiative here. We demoed it this week. The feedback has been phenomenal. Loyalty is a big part of our future. It's a big part of our innovation. But the loyalty is one of the number one conditions that we need to have that one-to-one consumer relationship and personalized relationship with our customers.
I love it. So on that note, talking about the future, what's anything, whether it's with Emarsys or just marketing as a whole, we always ask our guests to share some of their predictions for the future, something that you're concerned about or something that maybe you're excited about.
I think the number one thing is mobile. We are putting, we've spent the last 2 years working on what we just discussed, right? Which is making life for a marketer much simpler, and allowing him to do the creative work versus all the grunt work. But mobile is something where we probably have not spent as much time on as an organization, and that is a big investment for us in 2019. So I'm really excited about that, because mobile is the future. All our customers who are speaking on stage this week have been talking about mobile, and we need to also be aligned to that, and that's going to be one of our number one priorities. The other thing I'm very excited about is, as I said, most of our focus has been in retail commerce, and as we built this new vision and strategy, we're going to expand into different verticals, and travel, airlines, hotels, subscription, publishing, gaming. These are all the new verticals we will bring into our business over the next few quarters during FY19, which will give us a much more wider diversity in what we can go and address in the market.
I love that, because every marketer's goals and objectives are a little bit different based on what kind of industry you're in, what kind of vertical you're in. It's a little different, so there is no one size fits all.
Absolutely.
All right, well, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want to make sure that our audience knows?
No, and I guess the third area where it's a big buzzword everyone's using is AI.
Yes.
And again, we are building that into the software to support with machine learning and intelligent AI.
All right, so before we let you go though, you're here on the show, so that means that we have to do some rapid fire questions, if you're up for it. Good?
I'm up for it, yeah.
Okay, so first question. If you had to describe marketing today in one word, what would it be?
Hard.
Agreed. But it doesn't have to be, because we're going to help people out, right? So
hard.
How about something you wish marketers knew, but you're pretty sure they don't?
I think marketeers need to know we are here to help them, not to make it harder for them. And I think today, a lot of them, and also I think it's very important for them to know we empathize with them. We understand their pains.
We get it.
We have a lot of employees in Emarsys who are marketeers. So I think what I would like them to know is we empathize, we understand, and we want to help them and make their lives much simpler, and it's not so hard to do their jobs, because expectations are high on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gets harder every year.
It does, and expectations just keep getting higher and
absolutely.
higher and higher. So, all right, and last but not least, what's some content that you have consumed recently? Could be a book or podcast or something that you would recommend for our audience.
I'll tell you what, I'm a this is a personal thing. I'm a huge fan of culture.
Got it.
Culture is important to me. I actually believe culture is the number one. Culture is ultimately equals people, and culture and people is what makes your company and drives your customers and prospects. The one thing I would recommend to people to read who haven't read it is a book called Good to Great. I love that book. I read that once a year because it reminds me of
something new from it every single time.
Every time I read that, it actually inspires me. So Good to Great is a book by Jim Collins. Jim Collins, by Jim Collins, and it's a really good read, and it's an easy read. But it talks about how a good company can become a great company. And I believe that we are a good company. There are not many great companies out there, by the way. There are a lot of good companies. So my personal aspiration is, as Chief Revenue Officer, is to take Emarsys from a good company to a great company.
Sounds great. We're on our way. Absolutely. So,
we're absolutely on our way.
So with that, where can our audience find you for more information, not only about, obviously, Emarsys, but where can they follow you?
They can follow me on Twitter. They can follow me on LinkedIn. And they can follow me on Instagram. But don't follow me on Facebook because that's very personal.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much.
And my phone number.
Your phone number.
They can call me. Anyone can call me.
Good old,
just a good old telephone.
I like it. Well, Bijan, thank you so much for being here, obviously for being here at Revolution, but also for being here on Marketer Machine. Appreciate your insights, and it's exciting insights for what's ahead.
No, thank you for having me, and thank you for all your support this week.